Keri, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You're suggesting a new model. Talk to me about that.
So I do think that it's really important for not-for-profits to be able to work together with business and government. So I think government is doing a lot at the moment with COVID, but I do think that we need to find new models where the three sectors or the three entities come together and they find new solutions. Historically, we have the not-for-profits trying to implement things in a silo from what government is trying to do, as well as businesses are asking not-for-profits to do things. And none of the things are connected, but we don't have the resources anymore to be able to not have a clear strategy where we work together for the greater impact and for the greater good of our people that are needing the help the most.
Traditionally, where did you get your resources from? Where did they come from?
So the not-for-profit sector generally gets it from donor entities. So some of them get from government, definitely. Government is one of the biggest funders in our country. And then it's from private philanthropists, from CSI, which is your corporate social investment, and then also from national or international aid. So there's a lot of international aid. So not-for-profits generally rely on donors, but donors are quite scarce at the moment because everybody's feeling the economic impacts. But there's also a level of, we've always been talking about sustainability and how important sustainability is for the not-for-profits. So there's been a big push towards self-generating income for the not-for-profits, which we thought would weather any storm. We didn't predict COVID. And when we had level 5, all of the, and actually most of them still, all of their services are still closed down. So that income that we used to think was going to be your saving grace, that income isn't possible at all at the moment. So we've been talking a lot around sustainability and how that actually is about having a diversified amount of income streams. So individual donors, philanthropists, corporate donors, government, your own income streams. Make sure you've got your eggs in many baskets so that depending on whatever crisis or difficult time our country hits, your organization will be able to stand strong.
So you're saying because of the crisis we're going through now, there is more need for services that NPOs offer as well. Give us some examples and also talk to us a bit about your NPO, Nation Builder.
Absolutely. So Nation Builder sits in the middle between the philanthropic or the corporate social investment world, so the donor community, and the implementing community, which is the not-for-profit community. And we assist them to figure out how to work best together for greater social impact. So Nation Builder really equips and inspires the business community to lead social change. And in the work that we've been doing, we're part of a bigger group actually called Mergon. Mergon is an investment company that has a large foundation called Mergon Foundation. And we form part of Mergon, and they actually established a gap fund right at the beginning of COVID in March this year to stand in the gap for these not-for-profits because we realized that there was going to be a massive need in their funding. And so the reason why I'm telling you this is I'm on the committee that looks at the funding applications, and as an example of the need that has hit the not-for-profit sector with the realities of COVID is one of the organizations that applied the other day normally feeds 70 families as part of their sort of day-to-day work. And they were applying because their need has gone up to 850. So that is substantial, the amount of need that community is facing, where they were looking after 70 people on a food requirement basis, and now they've got 850 people. So we actually did a survey about a week and a half ago. We had 750 not-for-profits filling in the survey, and over 70% of the not-for-profits' operational costs have gone up. Over 70% of the not-for-profits are their project costs or their expenses have gone up substantially, and then about 72% of them said that their income has substantially decreased. So that just tells you that was a decent sample size of not-for-profits from around the country, and that just really tells you that the need is massive out there.
Yeah, the need is massive. Keri Leigh, it's of course Women's Month, it's Women's Day. But how important is it to have, efforts and programs that really are long-lasting and have a real effect? I mean, we all talk about Women's Month, we talk about Women's Day, but really, are you guys involved in any efforts at all in terms of the development aspects for the girl, child, and women?
Absolutely. So I think you can't do anything in social development that isn't about developing women and children. We actually find that a huge amount of the people that are part of the programs are women and children. So there's incredible programs when it helps, especially girls stay in school. There's quite a high dropout rate of girls for various reasons, to try and help them, go through with their schooling careers so that there's greater opportunities on the other side with the education. There's help for families. There's a lot of single parents, so a lot of single moms looking after children. So there's a lot of assistance in those environments. A lot of the organizations find that the ladies are very responsive to the work of the not-for-profits, because they are normally supporting the mothers in the communities, are normally supporting multiple children outside of their own children. And so the mothers really are the carers, the nurturers. And when you can support a mother, you can support a whole lot of youth and children that are reliant on her.
Now we know you're on record saying the needs of our country outweigh the available resources. When you speak with your partners, what are you doing to make sure that those resources go where they're needed the most in terms of women's development and development of the girl child in South Africa?
So we generally believe if you've done good due diligence and you have really done your research on the organization, had a look to see how well it is run, you can actually trust the organization. The not-for-profit organizations that are well run that is what they do. They know exactly where the need is. They know who needs the most. The people in the not-for-profits are dealing with people on the ground. They understand the grassroots needs. So we focus a lot on our due diligence and making sure that we have selected the best organizations possible for the job, and then we want to be able to treat them like a normal investment, where you would work together with one another to make sure that you're getting the greatest returns, but at the same time you trust that this is their industry and that they are going to make good decisions. Obviously we do monitoring and evaluation, so you look at the impact that has been achieved through the interventions that have been done, and you're also always looking at comparisons. So you're going, okay, so why is this different to this organization? And you can have really great conversations. There's often very, very real reasons. So if you are supporting in a more rural area versus if you are partnering in a more urban area, the expenses are quite different. Rural areas are more expensive because of the distance, and there's multiple factors. So but it's important to have those questions and have those discussions, and then you can really understand the sector better too as the donor entity.
All right. Thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning, Keri Leigh Pascal of the Nation Builder Trust. She's saying that demand for their services, NPOs, is increasing, but the funding is lacking somewhat.